Welcome back to Just Weirdly Blended. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Tom.
And it is Superbowl Sunday.
Yeah, it is February 8th, 2026.
That's
Here
cool,
we
though.
are. We're ready to go and rock and roll.
Seahawks probably winning, is my guess.
I hope.
I hope it's a good game, but I think it's. I honestly I don't see it. I see a blowout.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was listening.
Oh, yeah.
So you're more of a sports expert than I am. I was listening to I was listening to a podcast on Friday night. Mm-hmm. It's Politics War Room. Really good podcast if you like James Carville. He's a funny old guy, and Al Hunt. So they talk politics, but they also love sports. And they had a guy on. I can't remember his name, but he's a sports writer.
Okay.
Knows a lot of stats and stuff, and he predicted it's going to be probably a game in the mid-20s of score, and he thinks it's going to come down to the end, but he gave it to Seattle. He thinks Seattle's going to pull it off. He didn't see a blowout, but he said you never know. Like, things can happen that make it a blowout, but he was thinking it's going to be a close game.
I see
but
it.
Ultimately, Seattle win. So I don't know enough about. I didn't start watching this season until the end. So.
I don't know. The Patriots,
Plus,
their schedule wasn't super hard this year. And then,
So you think they may look better than they are comparatively?
I think so.
Okay.
I think their defense is
I like
probably
that
decent.
analysis.
I think their defense is probably pretty decent because Mike Vrabel, the coach for the Patriots, he's a defensive.
Yeah.
He played defense when he
So
played
he's heavier on that emphasis.
Probably. He knows that side, I think, really well because he used to play for the Patriots.
Gotcha.
Many years ago.
Cool.
And but I mean they don't really. I don't know. Offensively, I don't know. Their quarterback's pretty good for a young guy.
Yeah.
But they don't really have like top players, you know.
Gotcha.
I can see it being either it's either gonna be a close game or it's gonna be a blowout. No, I think it's gonna be either. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Patriots coming close though.
Okay.
Honestly,
Cool.
I think the defense for Seattle is just too.
It's pretty good.
They're too fast.
What is it that they called it? There was a name
Legion
for this
of
style
Boom.
of defense. They're using three.
Like
what
a
is the
sack or
position? Yeah, they're using three of a certain position. I can't remember which one it is.
Is it 3 linebackers?
Maybe
3-4,
something like that. Yeah. So you guys,
4-3.
this is what I mean.
A nickel.
I can watch a football game and follow it now, but that's about the depth of my knowledge. But yeah, apparently, and this guy was explaining, it's like, football's a cycle. You get something like defensively that works, and then the offense learns how to
it's chess, bro.
counter that, right? And so he's like, there aren't that many options that can be played, but you'll see something that's pulled up from 2 decades ago that now works again because the other side's worked through that cycle. They find that one piece that works. They put it together. It takes teams a couple of years to put that line together.
Yeah.
And then, then you got to tweak everything again because the strategy aspect is very interesting.
Yeah, because they'll stack it where the line they have fucking
Right.
4 to 5 people on the line.
And they're talking about one of the Seahawks players, and again, I watched so little football. I'm even having a hard time remembering our quarterback's name. not
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, as my brother says, his parents missed a golden opportunity. He should be Arnold Darnold, but yeah, it's like Rashid or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. He's apparently he's very versatile. He can do many different things.
I think
he can be
like an offensive player.
something like that. Yeah.
He's the one I think returned the punt on us or the kickoff in
Probably because
the first
he's
30
really
seconds.
fast. He's great at receiving. He can just do a multitude of things. So that's pretty cool. I like that Seattle's a young team, so I will watch next year.
Arnold Darnold is great.
Arnold Darnold.
Sorry, I just thought about that right now.
Name your kid Arnold if you're
Because they love their kid.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Would you?
It's kind of hard to resist the humor in that.
They'd be like, "You fucking dad, I hate you.
Dad, I hate you so
fucking hate you." Yeah, I was gonna watch the Super Bowl. Well, I probably won't catch it until, I don't even know, probably halftime. I'm guessing it's about when I'll probably.
You're gonna watch the American halftime show?
Fuck.
The Patriot halftime show,
Dude. No, and it's for the sheer like audacity of them doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the claim
like there's no point.
Bad Bunny's not American,
That's so stupid.
He's not
How
American.
about all the other performers that played at halftime that were not American? Like legit not American though.
Yeah, you know what though?
Not Puerto Rican.
Guess who else also had an issue with that? The guys that are throwing a fit now have had an issue with that since the kneel, right?
They're like, what? Coldplay's playing? Nope. Nope.
Nope, they're white. That's fine.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I know.
You got like fucking, I don't know. There's been many bands that have played that have not been American.
I mean, if we're talking British, like that's okay. Irish, that's fine.
Shakira,
we'll let her. We'll let her do her thing.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll bring her back twice, maybe.
You're dumb if you don't.
I mean, come on, it's Shakira.
She's what, 50? Something like that.
She looks good for 50.
She's
Shakira is
not an ugly lady.
Kind of on her own league. I mean,
would you be nervous around her?
Oh yeah, I probably couldn't speak.
She's like, come on,
be cool.
Your hips don't lie.
Come on, dance with me.
Be terrible.
I can't dance anyway.
No, we're going to watch this. So JJ started watching this YouTuber, and mind you, I didn't know who this YouTuber was.
I had no idea this movie was made by.
His name's Mark Plyer, or his YouTube name's that. His actual name's Mark something else.
Okay.
And
Plyer like the tool.
Markiplier. Yeah, kind of like it has that in the end, like Markiplier. Markiplier.
Okay.
Markiplier.
Oh, okay.
I know he does gaming videos, and so he.
Gotcha.
So the whole thing is, this is a horror game that he decided that he was gonna do on his own. So he self-budgeted this. So he wrote the script. He did everything he did himself.
Hold on, horror game?
It's a game. It's based on a game.
Okay. So he made this movie based off of a horror game that he did a review of, or like
that he played.
Game.
Yeah.
But this isn't like 2 hours of watching him.
No. There's no way in hell I would have done that.
Okay.
I would not go to the theater to do that.
Oh my god, you guys! Oh, he's behind that door. Oh my god, you guys!
So this guy's kind of like that, you know, with his.
I love it. It's good.
You know, he gets excited.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first to start the whole. He really got in there when Five Nights at Freddy's first started.
Okay.
So he was one of the originals.
He's one of the early.
Like he started playing and putting out content, so he was one of the early ones for that.
You know what they
which
say,
is kind
kids? The early bird catches the worm.
Exactly.
So that's
and
cool. So he's gonna put his money into this
so
project.
he put into his money into this project. He even starred in it, and he I want to say he put in, and obviously this is in cinema terms, this is not a lot of money, but in our life, this is a lot of money. $3 million.
Okay, yeah.
He out of his pocket though.
That's not nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how much he
is it completely in like an independent film, or did he team up with?
No, I think he independently did this, and he had like his own little team, you know.
Yeah, but that's really neat. I mean, I think that's creatively that's a really cool thing. It's kind of like let's see what he does with it.
Well,
right?
It ended up like doing well.
Sure.
Like he put in $3 million. It ended up making something about, and it was only a little release at one point. I think it was like 50 to maybe 100 theaters here and there.
Okay,
not much.
But now it's expanded.
It was only now it's like nationwide or maybe worldwide. But it was he ended up making like 21 million.
Good for him.
Right.
Good job, man.
And so I saw this interview. Someone was talking to him, and he was like. It was really cool because it just showed the character of this guy, probably who he is. He was like crying, talking about like, dude, I never thought this would. I did this just to do this, something I wanted to, accomplish. And
right, good for him.
Like he was just so proud of what happened and just in like awe. And so like even with all that money that he's getting, he's like, I don't need. He's giving it to everyone else. Like he's. Like, obviously, he'll
Like
probably
he's
keep
sharing it with everybody that was involved.
Yeah, they're all getting a bump.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then something else I read,
He's
like
converting into cocaine. And
y'all get a little bump. Key party. So he, I guess what he does too with some streams is like he'll tell people, don't donate to me. Like, I don't need it. Like, if you're gonna do anything, donate to smaller streamings.
Yeah.
Like streaming platforms. Like, I don't need this. I don't need your support.
That's amazing.
He goes, I love that you guys are supporting me. You know, he's like does that, but please give it to.
Well, that's
work
what we.
with someone else.
That's what we always like to say to our audience is like,
yeah, we got
support us.
Yeah,
Please support us.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even know how you would do that, but.
But I guess
my dad's our number one fan now with your dad.
Our dad.
That's a long term.
Gotta love dads, right?
Fan. We got one view on that video where I went off a couple weeks ago. My dad texted me, "Proud of you, boy."
Good.
Cool. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, that guy. He ends up. I guess he broke a record for the most blood used in a film.
Damn.
Something like I think it was 80,000 gallons.
More than like Kill Bill, because that was like a purposefully, humorously gory film.
Yeah. Apparently, this is what I read somewhere that
Wow.
it broke a record for the most gallons of
the
use.
scene in The Shining where the elevator doors open.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that was a small miniature that they used. I don't know, but even more than that.
Yeah, apparently 80,000 gallons.
Wow, that's a lot of gallons.
There's a scene that I saw.
80,000 gallons.
I swear, I could be off.
Because my pool's like,
how many gallons?
How the hell many? I don't remember. That could be very normal. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
even.
that's not that much. I don't know.
But
no, I thought our pool was like 20,000 or something. Like,
I don't know.
I can't remember now. But man, that's crazy. Let's say
I'm gonna do some.
Yeah.
How many gallons of blood did they use in Iron Lung?
The 2026 film Iron Lung used about 80,000 gallons of fake blood,
Good
setting
God.
a world record. That's roughly 300,000 liters, surpassing the previous record held by Evil Dead. The production required so much fluid that safety measures were needed.
Yeah, and so I guess with him doing that, he I guess he got blood in his eye or something. He had to go to the hospital.
Wow.
To treat it or something.
So the crazy thing is, like,
I don't even know what this.
What would that look like? Like, I appreciate that she tried to give us context by converting it to liters.
I don't know what liters.
That
is.
did not help. How
many cups?
80,000. Like, if you imagine this room.
I got you. Let's see. How many cups is 80,000 gallons?
80,000 liquid gallons is 1.2. 8 times 10 to the 6 cups.
Bitch, what?
Okay, so many cups you can't even express it in a normal number.
It looks like 12 million.
What size room could you fill with 80,000 gallons?
A lot.
Let's ask that.
Okay.
Well, will it?
How much room can you fill with 80,000 gallons? Wait, that sounds stupid.
We're gonna see how smart AI is.
Water can fill a large commercial pool or a big storage tank. That volume is about 10,690 cubic feet, enough to fill a cylindrical tank that's 27 feet across and 18 feet high, or a large residential pool.
So the pool that they're saying is a 40 foot by 20 foot by 13 foot deep.
That's insanely large. That is much larger than my pool. My pool is a pretty good sized pool, I'll say, but it's not that big.
You don't have a 13-foot pool deep?
No, it's 8 foot.
Can you imagine?
8, and we had to like specifically ask for it to be deeper. I didn't want my head sticking out of the water when I was going under.
So Olympic-sized pools hold about 600,000.
Okay, when you put it in those terms, I mean, we're not talking much blood.
80. So it's roughly 12% of an Olympic pool.
So it would cover the floor of an Olympic pool.
Yeah, 12% of it.
Dude, those are big.
That's fucking huge.
Big fucking pool.
Dude, that's a lot of blood.
It'd fill 12% of the pool. It would cover the entire floor then, I would imagine.
God, it would fuck my house up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, this entire basement would be full.
This house would probably be full.
My basement and your basement would be completely full of blood.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So 2 residential houses would be basement filled with blood to make that movie, at least.
So
that's crazy.
my son, he told me about this movie, and then so I was like, well, let me look. And he wants to watch it.
Yeah.
And then we found out it came here to the theaters. And then I saw something online that says it was only going to be, they're only going to leave it another week, and then he was going to try to, like release it.
Okay.
Streaming services, kind of like, get it out there to everyone else.
That's awesome. Cool. Netflix, buy it.
So I was like, I told him, we'll go watch it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is about.
Iron Lung.
I think of the iron lung that they used to. Yeah, they had to sit that big old thing
just sticking out.
Yeah,
which is a horror movie. Just watching a guy have to lay there, for
just
2
breathing.
hours.
But it sounds. It looks interesting from the previews I saw.
So
what
do you take it like to be about? What is the story?
Bro, I don't know. Honestly.
Okay.
Well, let's see if we can get a synopsis. Right? Isn't that the word? Synopsis?
Yeah. Synopsis.
What is the synopsis of Iron Lung?
Iron Lung, a sci-fi horror film from 2026, follows a convict exploring a blood ocean on a desolate moon. He uses a rusty submarine to search for resources after the quiet rapture destroyed most planets, based on the 2022 game and starring Markiplier.
Huh.
Yep.
So I get it. So instead of water, they're like
on
floating around on blood. Oh, that's why there was so much blood.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how good it is.
He's in a rusty.
It sounds like it. From some I saw, it seems like it's decent.
That does sound pretty interesting.
So it seems interesting. So I'm gonna watch that with him and with Jake.
Cool.
And
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
Very cool.
I told him, yeah, I'll take you guys. Well, I asked Jake. I was like, hey, do you want to go see it? Oh yeah, I'd be interested.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because originally it was just going to be JJ, but I didn't want to just be like, I'm taking JJ, you're screwed,
Right,
that
right.
Seems
I got you. But
and
cool
I know
for them
that
because
she likes, horror movies.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And I don't know. And then I find out that this motherfucker, I thought, like I said, I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't know him from Adam.
Sure.
This dude had like 40 million YouTube subscribers.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh, that makes sense why he can afford probably
Yeah. Good for him.
Our budget would be like 300.
Oh, on a good day.
Maybe 80 gallons of blood. Maybe.
Buddy, I got a 2-liter of blood here. Let's make the movie.
There's my props over here.
Yeah.
What you don't see, guys, is off to the side here is a Halloween costume.
Bag full of them.
I might wear that one.
You can be Spider-Man.
No, the one with the nipples.
Oh, there you go. I'll be Dumbo. You be the whatever.
It's like a hillbilly, I think.
Oh, nice.
I think so.
Okay. All right. I'll be Dumbo. You be the hillbilly.
So it'll be interesting. So I'll watch that.
We're gonna remake Hillbilly Elegy. You guys know that one? That's JD Vance's book.
So I got a question about JD Vance, and this is genuinely like I'm very like I'm not trying to make a joke.
Sure.
Or does he wear eyeliner?
Sure looks like it.
Right?
Sure looks like it.
His eyes bug
There have been
me.
jokes about that, and I'm not going to joke because honestly, like whatever, all famous people wear makeup.
Well,
If you're
no,
gonna be on TV.
I know, but it
does look like an eyeliner. And what does make it ironic and kind of funny is like if you're, hating, or I don't know that he personally hates, but showing a hatred for people that are different than you, maybe don't dress like them, like eyeliner's kind of not fitting that look.
Yeah, it just look. I always see him, and I'm like,
no, it really does.
Something
look
looks
like
up.
deep black eyeliner. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
And I mentioned this last time. His beard. There's something just really.
Have you seen him without the beard?
I've seen him without beard.
Beard is an upgrade. It's kind of like my face, JD. I'm one with you. I understand.
I need to talk to him and have him do something because I think the way he shaves the underneath side of his beard makes it look weird.
Okay.
So I think he goes a little too high up. So his beard stops at his jawline,
and it should go farther.
It should go further down, like how my beard goes down.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So it kind of like flows into.
I gotcha.
It kind of just flows. Because there's one time I actually like try to line up my beard, and instead of going to usually you go from the bottom of your jawline, kind of like around your throat.
Sure.
Like you're gonna cut yourself. That's where I usually line up my beard. But he, I think, lines it up a little higher,
like way.
And so
here.
one time I did that, like so. underneath your chin and everything's just really bald, and it just doesn't.
It's weird.
It looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like you got these big mutton chops almost
Yeah, sure.
that connect.
Maybe we're trying to bring that back. We're talking about Gilded Age here.
But your beard looks normal.
Thank you.
Like yours,
I appreciate
I don't know.
that.
His just looks.
Yeah.
I
As
don't know.
does yours.
It looks like I could just tear his off because it's not real.
Maybe it's just stick on.
It probably is with this fucking eyeliner.
One night at the Olympics, he's just going to come out with it cockeyed and have to adjust it.
Oh my god, there was this fucking boxing match, and it was like, was it last week or something? This dude gets hit, and I don't know why this fool was doing this. Anyway, the guy gets hit with an uppercut so hard that the guy that got hit, his toupee fucking flies up.
You have a toupee when you're boxing?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Wouldn't the boxer just shave his head?
You would think.
I don't have the head shape for a shaved head. I really am in trouble. Like, this is what I got. I better not lose my hair.
Dude, I'm going to use Google again. I've been... video of boxer with a toupee. I wonder if it'll show it. I wonder if...
Was it the thing where, like, you actually see, like, the underlayment of the toupee, like it popped up like a toilet seat?
At least he won the boxing match.
Well, I've never seen this before.
Oh, my God.
The hair knocked off his head, Sergio.
Wow.
He ended up winning.
Oh, yeah. Heavyweight contender, Terrell. Big baby Miller.
I would have guessed, though, that was a toupee. I mean... I guess
it looked real.
I get it. I mean, so African American gentleman, his hair, he had like what do you call that?
A toupee.
No, I know, but the style, it's like shaved really tight, and then
A nice little fade,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He had like a flat top, I guess.
I guess you'd call it that. Yeah, it just looked like a very normal
It's
hairstyle.
just tight.
So I was thinking like it's weird because in boxing, wouldn't you just shave everything? When I saw the way his hair looked, I'm like, okay, that looks like a boxer's hair. It looked like very natural.
It did. But
I wouldn't have thought. The crazy thing is,
you're
it
boxing.
was so glued down that he had a ring around of the toupee left after it flipped off.
So after that, my question is, do you just accept the baldness?
At that point, you'd have to.
Right?
He looked great bald.
Yeah.
I mean, like he had.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. African Americans look good bald. They can pull it off,
man.
Some Hispanics do as well, and white guys look like they're neo-Nazis. Really,
not all the time.
not all the time, but
No,
yeah.
I think.
yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Like if you
They
just
look more
if you
racist,
skinhead,
though.
right?
It's
Like,
skinhead for sure.
But like that's where my icon Tony Soprano. Like you just got to do that. You just got to slick it back. All right.
Well, no, see, Tony Soprano. You know what's weird is I don't know why I don't consider Italians white.
No, I understand that.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
they were traditionally a marginalized group.
Did you want some more?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't consider them like I don't know. When I think of white people, I think of like
Me.
Europeans.
You think of me.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I am borderline.
But I guess I don't look at you
British
as white either.
Well,
I know
that's
you're
because
white.
we're friends.
Maybe that's why.
No, I mean
I'm
I
not-
am, and
and I'm not
and that's the
racist, I
funny
guess.
thing is like I'm a proud white person, whatever the hell that means. Like, Jesse, I gotta break it to you.
You almost threw
I'm
out
pro
the-
ice. I love what's going on in Minneapolis. No,
He's a proud boy.
no, I don't hate my race, but I do.
I hate mine. I'm just kidding.
I love all races. I don't know. It's a very awkward conversation.
You know,
but,
it's kind of no.
like,
It's just
you know what I mean. Like I'm not upset. I don't not like my race. I'm not proud of who I am or whatever. Like I'm a very white guy. Everything about me is pretty white. But I also, I don't know. Like I also don't I'm not gonna pretend like this country doesn't have major issues.
Yeah.
I'm not super proud of things that my culture has done to people. Like,
well, yeah, I know what you mean.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
I think it's
why
okay to
J.D.
be-
Vance gets booed at the Olympics. I get it.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't think one culture should be proud of themselves over others. And I've personally heard many people, like, not in my family, but like in white circles, you're listening, especially older folks.
Mm-hmm.
Who will make comments like there was a gal I worked with years ago, years ago. So like not even anywhere near, like probably will never hear me say this.
Okay.
And I don't want to say who this person is, but
Jody.
like flat out said, not all cultures are equal. I'm like, okay.
Yikes.
And this was like not a white supremacist. Like, I mean, obviously that's a white supremacist.
Wonder what
statement,
she meant by
but
that.
I'm saying like she was a very like average, normal person, right?
That's interesting.
And
Right?
that was no, she's African American. No, she was absolutely white.
I mean,
And
that's why white
she was
people probably
annoyed
get-
because at the time Michelle Obama was doing the God forbid have kids eat healthy campaign.
Oh yeah.
And she's very irritated that all kids have to get an apple, but they just throw it away. And it's so wasteful. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, at least like we're encouraging them to eat an apple. But I was younger. I was of a different generation. But it's just, I think for that age group, the natural racism they were born into,
Yeah,
I think they did better than their parents maybe because they weren't outwardly
They
saying
weren't
the
like,
N-word
hey,
or something.
it's 10 o'clock. Why are you outside?
Well, no, seriously. I'm like, my parents grew up in our cities. Like, our city that we live in was a sundown town. Like, literally, it meant if you were a different race, you're out of here by sundown.
So there's this guy I used to work with that he would talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm. He remembered it. Like,
well, yeah, and he was like, "Oh, I remember me and my dad would go out there with guns and."
Are you fucking kidding me? He was proud.
Yeah,
of
you
it?
gotta ask. I mean, if you ever talk to Gabe, you gotta ask him about this guy. His name was Joe. I don't care. But the funny thing was, we always would be like, man, that motherfucker is racist, right? Me and Gabe would always say that because like the shit he would say, you're like, nah, man, this fucking guy's racist.
This guy's out.
Like, I don't care. Well, my son-in-law is Mexican and stuff. I'm like,
he says,
yeah, you're still racist. Yeah, but the way he would talk about like when that sundown thing was,
like he was proud of it.
yeah,
like,
like it was fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's weird.
Well, to him, it probably was.
But go to find out, we found his real name is his name's Jerome.
No.
We're like, bro, you don't even act like
Jerome.
Come on, Jerome. I mean, obviously that's being stereotyped, right? I'm stereotyping the name Jerome, but
it's kind of fun in this context.
in this context, like his whole name was very
More African American.
Jerome Clifton. I'll say first and last name. He ain't
So
gonna
which
listen to this.
parent was supposed to be in Pasco? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm saying Jerome Clifton, you hear that name,
yeah,
you're not picturing a white guy.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, me and Gabe, we would laugh. We'd laugh so hard because we were all like, we were seeing this sheet of names and their number, and we're like, who the fuck is Jerome? Like,
yeah,
who? Like, I didn't know any of these guys' name. We knew them by Joe. I didn't know their last names,
Yeah.
And
why
which
wasn't
is
he
crazy.
proud of Jerome? I'm curious.
I don't know. And then we're like, who the fuck? And so I asked the guy in the shop, Josh. I was like, hey man, who the fuck's Jerome? Like, I go, because I don't think. I don't think they've ever hired, like, besides me and Gabe, and like, like, I don't think they hire much people that are, dark,
and many people of color in this place.
And he's like, that's, and he told me who it was. I was like, shut the fuck up. He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's so funny. I got a good chuckle out of it. I don't know. For someone being so racist, it was the funniest
I don't
thing.
know if you think like I do. Like, I've been watching a couple things. Netflix has some pretty good. Like,
I don't know if that whole conversation was racist, and if it was, I'm sorry.
I'm going to be honest. I think this is a very important issue for maybe it's beyond our generation at this point. Like, unfortunately, we're kind of like, I don't know. Our group's about to take charge once the old folks are kind of out to pasture, but they're hanging on till their 90s. So God knows when that's going to happen,
Bro.
I kind of feel like the new king waiting for his mom to like, kick the bucket. Like, you want to be king, but your kids are getting old enough. You're like, I want to be king for a little
you
while.
want to get the pillow to their face a little bit.
Ma, you just got to go. Like, that's kind of like when you look at some of these old fucks in there and it's like nothing's really changing. But I do look at, so I've been watching some like political things. I've been watching some like racial things, and I'm going to be really open and honest here. And I think there's prejudices in our country that we're not even aware of, right?
Oh, for sure.
we were raised at a time where racism, I think, was a thing that was not, we were raised with ideals but you also, there was like subliminal messaging there as well that you weren't necessarily aware of.
Yeah.
Like for me, I used to get a lot more triggered by racial comments. Like I kind of I wasn't ever like on Trump's side, but there would be statements made where I would get offended, like as a white person. Like,
oh, okay, so not like being called like a cracker or something.
No, but like, you know, kind of like I was always supportive of like Black Lives Matters, but there were some things that would come out eventually like, well, I'm not a racist white guy, and you know, you take it very personally and very like,
well, because you don't want to be like lassoed into like this group that just because you're white, that means you're racist.
But when you really step back away from it, and when you really analyze it, and I think under the modern context of how far it's gone, and you really look at it under like a microscope, there were like prejudices that I had. Right? Like there were prejudices that our societies had. And I think we got to a point with like the 1960s, we just kind of pretended like we dealt with it at some point. Obama got elected. It's like we have a first black president. Like racism is dead. Yeah. Right? Like we're in a post-racist world. And we were not. We were not at all. Well, our country never really dealt with it.
One thing I think is kind of sad though, I think through time, obviously, it'll get better, but I don't know if racism will ever not be a thing.
It'll always be a thing, but I don't think it helps that we are where we're at today.
Like, I feel like right now where things are, it's so much more prevalent than it used to be.
I think I don't think it's prevalent. I think it's that it's out there.
Well, I mean, it's out there, but like you didn't see it like this.
No, you didn't.
That's what I mean. You know what I mean?
I'm choosing to look at this like that Harvey Dent comment in The Dark Knight. Right? It's always darkest before the dawn. I was so angry a couple weeks ago, and there's a lot to still be angry about. Yeah. There's a lot of issues, but I do kind of feel like, look, we're at a point now where it's so obviously broken and wrong. Uh-huh. Thank God support is not high for what we're seeing. And we now can see what it is directly. Like it's out there. It's open. People have written their name to it. And we have a choice. Is that who we are and want to be? Or do we want to move forward and be something better? And I think most of us want to be something better. So
I hope so.
You know, I kind of think like it's not necessarily a horrible thing. We might have to give a little bit, right? We might have to put ourselves out there in ways that aren't comfortable or aren't necessarily the safest. Unfortunately, people have been executed by the state over this. But ultimately, things that are in the light you can address and deal with, right?
Yeah.
Whereas before we just kept kind of skating by like this isn't an issue.
I hope no one's skating by some of the shit that's been coming up.
But my question,
because they try to still bury it.
I don't think that this is what's so challenging though is so like, you know, I've talked about political parties and whatever, and I identify more as a Democrat. The problem with the Democrats, they're going to have to not let this side of things be a major issue. They're going to really have to focus on the economy, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, what wins elections is the economy, the perception of the economy. We've gone roughly 20 years, if not longer, where the perception's been that the right is better on economics. And it's finally hit with Trump where there's some cracking in that. You can really see nothing's been done for the economy, and he's been very sidetracked by this other stuff.
No, milk's gone down 89%.
Oh, sure. Right.
No, did you see that one? So they said, you know, he was like, this girl busts out this chart like, oh, you know, everything's going down.
Caroline Levitt?
No, it wasn't that bitch.
Oh, okay.
It was some other lady. Milk's gone down, you know, this much percentage. You know, the prices are coming down. Trump's like 44% or something crazy.
139,000%.
The funny thing is when you looked on the chart that she was sharing, it shows milk down 0.5%.
Sure.
And he said 40-something percent.
44%.
All the same, and you see it like
44 of the percentage of the thing that they were saying.
Well, but then like it's not that it's gone down, and maybe it's gone down in certain spots because stuff has gone, you know, either stayed the same or some stuff gone up.
I mean, credit where credit's due. It's hard. The economy, when it's kind of broken, it's hard. There needs to be some acknowledgement that some of the things Joe Biden did were right. We had year after year of job growth. We had year after year of better and better economic data coming in. And it wasn't until a few months after Trump took office that all that started to change. And you can't deny that there were major policy shifts at that time. It's kind of like when Obama came in. Remember where we were at? The economy collapsed. They were talking about government takeovers, and they did do government takeovers of some auto companies. They did major, I shouldn't say takeovers, but they did major investments so that auto companies wouldn't go under. Yeah. They did major bank bailouts. Nobody went to prison, and some of that was Obama. But ultimately, Obama inherited an economy on the brink of world global collapse, and his policies turned it around and handed Donald Trump a roaring economy by the time he came in. Then he got to loosen everything up, and luckily it was strong enough that it wasn't too loose for too long. We didn't have any major economic collapse, but then we got hit by the global pandemic, which, let's be honest, that it was partly to blame on the fact that what did Trump cut? He cut the groups that went around the world and kept eyes on the ground to make sure that major pandemics didn't have a chance to take hold. There were organizations that were designed, and yes, we spent money on, they were designed to prevent major global pandemics, or at least try to help it. You can never completely get rid of it, but you can't say that that didn't have some impact. And then we ended up in a situation where then we had a global pandemic. It was a strain on the economy. It hurt the many of the factors that go into the economy, like transportation of goods and all this kind of stuff, right? So that had an impact, and we started to see some issues coming out of it. Joe Biden took office. In the beginning of Joe Biden, if you think back, and I'm not saying he was perfect, there were a lot of things that Joe Biden should have done differently. The border's one of them. But if you look at basic economic data, what did they pass? Their major spending package was infrastructure. What is infrastructure good for? Private companies. You have good roads and bridges and things that the global economy can use and our local economies can use. That's good for the economy, right? Mm-hmm. So Democrats over the last several years have passed policies that actually impacted the economy positively. And if you look at the tax cut, but that's what we're getting is a lot of pushback on that. But I think it's getting to a point where people have to fundamentally look and recognize what is money we're spending and what is waste. And that I'm not claiming the Democrats never spend on waste. That I'm sure is there too. But everything that the right is pushing is a Doge type ideal. Yeah. Go in, make it look cool, right? I mean, the guy literally held a chainsaw. Elon Musk held a chainsaw and went around. And there's a guy that was fired. I think he was from the State Department. He shouldn't have really been fired. He was needed somewhere else in the world. He came home because his kid was seriously sick. And because he was in the office that day, they fired him. And he was like an expert in things. And now he's gone.
Did they try to hire that guy back?
They probably did for more money. And this is the other thing, too. If you look at it, just look at economic data for the last 30 years. Just do yourself a favor. James Carville answered my question that way.
Sounds boring.
It is, but it's one chart. You look at one chart. Oh, by the way, our economics, you know what's happened? For years, and this is under Republicans and Democrats, we've been looking at a situation where it was the trickle down, right? The billionaires get most of the money and then it trickles down to us. Trump did do something. He turned that into what's called a K economy. That's where the top 20% are going up and everybody else, the bottom 80%, are going down. So since Trump took office, this is our economy. The top 20% think things are great. They love it. And the bottom 80% are saying we can't get by. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
It's not working. But when we all go to our own media sources and that's all we watch and that's our point of view, obviously I'm skewed because I view it from one side. But
I don't know. You can take it into account how you want because, like, most of us know shit's expensive. Stuff's up.
Well, I'm telling
Insurance
you,
is crazy off
the party that can make the average person's life affordable, livable,
would win.
They're going to win. And if they continue to do that,
because I don't know, I would hope so, but people are retarded out there in the streets.
Well, I think people
if they vote.
So one of the things that I saw,
I don't like her. She got curly hair. I don't like that girl.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of perception, and that's the question of how do you break through on sort of like classical thinking, right? But when you look at, there are a lot of Obama voters that flipped and became hardcore Trump supporters.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's a question. In my mind, I fundamentally don't understand how that can happen. But if you were somebody that your entire family was in the Rust Belt and you worked in factories for decades, right? Your dad had a good job. Maybe, like I've heard the analogy, dad had a fishing cabin in Minnesota. That kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine being able to afford that. There are no more factories. Globalization destroyed my way of life. My town went under. Everyone's poor. There's no job prospects. The entire world basically left me. The rage comes from the feeling that both parties, all of government has failed me. It's not universal because depending on where you live, maybe more factories are built. Maybe you're in Silicon Valley and everything's blowing up because of the tech stuff.
Yeah.
We did not invest in areas of the country that were torn apart, right?
Yeah,
in the past, we just rolled on.
You just move on to go to the next place.
Right. And you leave people behind. And that's a very like conservative American principle, right? The strong survive, the weak die.
Like what like Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Flint is another place that's famous for that. West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Our coal mine's going to bring back West Virginia.
South Dakota.
You know, I mean, really, you look at these areas though, and it's like,
well, you get these places that are booming, and then other places that used to be booming, and then all of a sudden it's like those gold rushes. Like you go, you suck up all the resources,
and then
you're
it's gone. And now what? And so, in my mind,
you used to be a pretty girl, now you just a whore. Now I'm going to move on.
Well, that's like in my mind, that's what regulation's there for. And people say like, you know, regulation is a bad thing, and it can be.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be the first to admit I was an idiot back in when Trump first went for office, his first term.
Well,
I voted for the guy. Things sounded it sounded different then. Obviously,
I never liked him. And I had my reasons, but I've also always identified a little more. I think I'm more of a centrist, but liberally.
But I was more of I wasn't a Republican or a Democrat. I was neither.
You're a centrist. You're an independent.
So, like, to me, some of the stuff sounded better.
Well, and I think we have to.
So that was my problem. It sounded better.
Well, and what sounded better was the idea. I think you probably identified with the feeling that things are broken.
So I'm going to go fix this. I'm going to get rid of this.
And this guy is going to kind of be a wrecking ball. And obviously, our country needed that a little bit because we were getting. I mean, the elites, no matter what. The second we got that ruling in the Supreme Court, now I can't think of the name of it, but it was like 2011 or whenever it was. It gave corporations the right to give any amount of money. Mm-hmm. I can't freaking think of the court case, but anyway, doesn't really matter. Look it up. Very famous court case, and it made it possible. Corporations basically got First Amendment rights. Yeah. You can't hinder them from giving to a political candidate because it's the entity's First Amendment right.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I have a lot of issue with that, but basically that legalized corruption in my point of view. I still don't understand that ruling. The individuals within that corporation always had First Amendment rights. I don't understand why a corporation
now the whole corporation can't be attacked
because technically that corporation has employees that don't agree politically with the entity, right? And they have a right to their voice, but their entity is now taking their voice. I see a lot of flaws in the way that they ruled in that case, and it's driving me nuts. I can't think of the name of that freaking case. But anyway, I don't understand. It's kind of like taxation. I don't get why you can't cut corporate taxes and then raise the tax to an absorbent amount on the guy that owns the company. Or vice versa. Have very little tax on the guy that owns the company, but have a massive corporate tax. Somebody's got to pay the taxes. One thing that's not working is tax cuts while we're still trying to meet our basic needs.
Yeah.
Right? You got to take care of people in the society. I think we can all agree to some level when people saw what Trump meant was my poor mom is going to lose her benefits that keep her alive.
Yeah.
People weren't for that.
No.
But people need to fundamentally understand that this stuff, it costs money. Your mom getting health care costs money. right? Your kids having food stamps costs money. I don't want to see kids starve. Do you?
Yeah, I do. I'm just kidding.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know anyway. Whatever. I'm just saying, if Democrats want to really turn this around and reframe themselves, they need to get very economically focused. They need to stay out of I think fighting for. I've heard a lot of people say this, and I agree with it. Fighting for people's rights a little more quietly, not having that the center of the platform. Really be the party of strong union labor, strong middle class growth, strong economic development, where every average family has a path forward, where you feel like every year you're getting more personally and not falling apart. But also our country needs to look at, we're so monetary in mind, right? We want to buy a lot of shit. That's something, if you look
Sounds like my wife.
If you look at the happiest countries in the world, they don't live like we do. So I think we got to also get real on what do we want? I mean,
we're spoiled though.
Well, look at what people's houses looked like in the 40s and 50s. I mean, you're talking little houses by and large.
Yeah.
Right? Like you drive down by the golf course down there at the Zintel and you see those little houses. That was a normal house.
Yeah.
A family lived in that house happily, right? And we don't live that way. And I'm not suggesting that we go back to that. But we also need to look at the McMansion life that we kind of had in the 2000s, where lots of people had massive houses and
they were just giving shit out then.
I mean, it's I don't know. I don't know what progress looks like when
I don't think I had a house back then. No.
I didn't. I was too damn young.
I think I was in Job Corps.
My parents did, but
early 2000.
Yeah.
I was at Job Corps, yeah, for sure. And then I lived in a trailer.
Yeah.
And I liked it, to be honest.
It was easy to take care of, probably.
Dude, it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'll never knock living in a trailer. I don't care.
Sure.
Easy, not a lot. Small yard.
Kind of a simple life, right?
Simple. I think the worst thing I had to deal with was a water heater blew out. I had to replace a water heater. Mm-hmm. That was kind of a bitch.
But I mean, the roof goes, how much roof is there?
Just 50 feet.
Yeah, right. I mean,
what is a trailer? Like a 54 feet, a 50-footer.
But if you look at houses,
got it double wide.
Houses are starting to shrink, right? People are starting to use the space more wisely. And these are. And
I'll never want to move.
I watched another documentary the other day. It was about through lines in the economy and in government, where you could see how people are less involved in organizations these days. Mm-hmm. And based on this one guy's research, and I mean, I know what I was told in the documentary. I have not researched this at all, so take it for what it is.
So you're an expert,
but I am an expert on this.
Out of us, you are.
But the interesting thing, if this is all true, this guy did research in Europe, in Italy specifically, in the 70s. And it was at a point when the economy of Italy was kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
And they basically localized a lot of these governments. And so it was an opportunity to really look and identify what made a government successful and what made it poor. So they looked at everything from voting, engagement, to education level, to financial system, to all these pieces that you would think up front were what would be important for an economy. Mm-hmm. And what they found, and what tended to be the through line in all other data sets, was when people were engaged in organizations like the Rotary Club, or the Knitting Association, or whatever.
Just like anything, you were after school,
right? After school club. You had something that you would go and do with a group of people. That civic engagement went up. Overall happiness with your society went up. Your being content with your government went up. And I thought about that in my own life. I know anecdotally for me, it's true. My parents didn't join any groups. We didn't really like it when random people came by the house. Not that we had something to hide.
I don't like when.
But I think about
the church comes
in
to my
the
house.
40s though, or the 50s or whenever. at that time, moms typically were stay-at-home moms. They would have like a pie.
We're women.
No, but I'm not advocating that side. But I'm just saying, like, they would have something purposely on hand. If somebody came to the house, they would have coffee and something to eat ready to go.
I think a lot of it has to do with too is technology. Really, like now we have things that keep us occupied.
Right, and actually, you're 100% correct because they brought that up.
Back then, your entertainment was
people,
someone coming here to your house,
right? And the question isn't, is it like good? Is it bad? It's what are the impacts?
Yeah,
because guess what? You are 100% right, my genius
you're antisocial
because you said exactly what they found.
Yeah.
When we stopped engaging on that level with our neighbors was when everybody started getting TVs.
Oh, I believe it.
That's when the data set started to show.
That's your entertainment.
And then you ended up with all the politics of like Nixon and all that, where people started to really doubt their government. And we didn't talk to our neighbors as much anymore. It makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
I get it.
a lot of the people my age group, people I know, like we got our group and that's about it. You know, we don't meet people or talk. And that's when I get so angry, like a couple weeks ago. But I have to acknowledge I'm part of the problem too. I don't try to understand people that I don't see eye to eye with. I don't have a bunch of friends that we
it's easy to dismiss them and then you just move on to the next group that's more like-minded than you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And yeah, the technology, it's there. Like we have this opportunity to engage with each other, but we don't. We don't. We engage with people we don't know and we scream at them the things that we think we're right about.
No.
You know, and there's a lot to feel right now. And I don't necessarily think...
Well, I think, too, back then, like, you know, you had people... I mean, obviously, those times were a lot different than they are now in the 40s, comparably.
Well, and not everything was better, let's be honest.
Because, you know, obviously...
We just talked about sundown
Mexicans
towns,
and white... Yeah. Mexicans and blacks, we weren't allowed to do a lot of things.
Right.
But, I don't know. I think it was just... You could have an opinion, and you guys, you know, and talk about it. Whereas now, it's like... Now if you have an opinion and some people are so strong about it that you can't have a conversation or you'll just look something up on fucking Google or Facebook and be like, no, that's not right. This is the right answer.
Well, people
you don't know what you're talking about.
Used to, at least from my understanding, they didn't used to talk about politics as much.
No, dude.
Like you'd have your point of view, but it
growing
was really,
up, even in the workforce, like that was pay. And like politics was like a no, don't.
Right.
And I understand why. As I'm older now, I understand why. Oh, religion, yeah. Because there's such a strong opinion. Like you find out that Betty Joe's getting a little more than you, and you're like, why is that bitch getting paid more than me when I do all this, and this?
Trouble, yeah.
Or you know, no, I'm a Christian. No, I'm a Catholic. Oh no, Jesus is my Jesus. No, Jesus is my Jesus. And it's like, okay, guys, it's the same shit,
right?
Essentially.
But the problem, I think, what's made it more personal today is with the invention of 24-hour news cycles, it's shoved in your face and it feels very threatening. Like if you believe in separation of church and state, you feel like it's being attacked. If you believe that the government should establish a religion, you feel like there's enemies out, right? Like
but the government, if they started their own religion, would be crazy.
Yeah. Well, this is where I have a strong opinion. They're like,
hey, guess what? We're going to tax you for that religion.
Well, so that's the whole establishment clause of the First Amendment. So I read through some of the amendments of the Bill of Rights.
I could see the government, you know, there's a thing they call the mark of the beast, right? I can see what that could be. It could be the government starts its own religion that you have to be a part of. If not, X, Y, and Z will happen to you. Or your family will be... You're not allowed these benefits because of it or whatever.
Right. Well, I think people forget that the reason that we had the First Amendment was because of what people fled in England. Like the tradition of the First Amendment, it's called the Establishment Clause. And for all my friends who that would like to see a Christian nation, because Christianity, whatever that Christianity looks like, would be the national religion of America. Based on the people that want a national religion.
They go around killing people.
The thing with the Establishment Clause, it's called the Establishment Clause because the first thing mentioned is the government cannot establish a religion. It's a protection from the individual being forced into a religion. It also prohibits the government from forcing people to join a religion or in the expression of their own self-religion. So, on the other hand of not having to join a religion, they also can't be forced to not participate in their religion. The government can't say, I don't like the way that you go about praising God. And as long as you're not violating laws, like if you're harming children or, something obviously egregious, it falls under non-religious context, right? But the reason that they're not taxed is because theoretically that would be hindering their ability to partake in their religion, right? And so the government purposely was out of that.
That's crazy.
But then the question is, like, when you hear people argue in the opposite, that we're losing our values and our morals and all this, and we need to be a more Christian nation. We are not fundamentally a Christian nation. No matter who our founders were, if they believed in it or didn't, we had quite a few deists in our founding fathers. We had quite a few people who didn't necessarily practice religion, and we had many that had many Christian ideals. I'm not going to pretend that
I think when you start, religion and politics just don't mesh to me.
They shouldn't.
It's like, you got to keep those out, obviously.
Well, they do too much now, and that's the problem. Is we've kind of co-opted religion into political movements.
You got someone like Trump thinking they're Christian or whatever he claims he is, right? But then you got other people who maybe not associate with, you don't know what they are. We'll say Obama Muslim or whatever.
Well, she's not actually. He's actively Christian.
Yeah. Well, I'm just I'm just throwing off two different things. I gotcha. Like, I'd rather have someone who's just good at their fucking job. I can care less if you're fucking Christian, non-Christian, you believe in whatever. Right. I don't care as long as you're not pushing that on me or trying to force me to like believe some type of way or this is what we need.
Yep.
Like, you believe what you want. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. That's America.
That's what it's all about. That's what I care. That's what I'd rather have. I don't push that bullshit like we got to be a Christian nation. Mm-hmm. What was it? The Christian Crusades?
Right.
They murdered millions of people. I don't know if it was millions, but they killed a lot of people.
Many people. Yeah. Because of the idea that there's holy land and we were going to get rid of the heathens. And
we are the heathens.
But there are people that are actively for that. And that's where I think, just as Americans, we need to have frank discussions about our ideals. What do we really believe? Because the national narrative is controlling everything in our lives. And I have to believe, with the way that we go back and forth with politics, most Americans fall in the center. Most Americans' ideal is, let me live my life. Let me do as well as I can. Don't get in my way, but also make sure that nobody else gets in my way, right?
Yeah, this is why aliens don't come to us.
Yeah, do you think aliens want to come to our planet?
They see us.
They probably look down there.
You know what? That Atlas 3I1 Atlas, whatever, that comet that they thought was an alien space. I can see why it fucking changed courses. It was like, oh, damn, you hear all that chatter going on over there?
For 10 years, we thought we were going to make impact, and then all of a sudden it veered in the opposite direction.
And it's so funny because, obviously the world's huge, and people are like, they're just going to come to the U.S.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Would they now? They probably wouldn't. They'd be like...
ICE would fucking get rid of them.
They would go to the United Nations and
ICE
be like...
Deport, get off my planet.
Dude, if South Park hasn't done that yet, they need to. The aliens land and then they get iced. Oh man, that video you sent me of Mr. Mackey. I gotta make my nut.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this is bad. I gotta make my nut.
He was an ice.
I'm sure there are many Hispanic people in heaven that goes up to heaven. All the ice vehicles.
Yeah, they all take them.
And Christy Gnome shoots all the dogs. Jesus!
Did she kill a dog or something?
Yeah, she murdered her puppy.
Okay.
Yeah, her puppy did something very normal puppy, and she took it out and shot it in the head.
So
she wrote it in her book, and she was very proud of it, which makes me really hate her guts.
Her face bugs me.
Yeah, it should. No, the creepy thing is, so like in that show, Oh, what's that? Do 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 do.
Outer Limits?
No. But that probably sounded like that. The one with the bird, Mockingbird or whatever. The districts and their.
Yeah. I know what
I'm
Hunger
talking
Games.
about? Hunger Games, right? They had this like elite group of people in the Capitol, and they all were like super like.
Yeah.
They got and we were like, whoa, that's weird. Look at the MAGA gals in DC right now.
Yeah.
Like, look at that whole group. It's wild.
They look evil.
Caroline Levitt, they just did that photo op where she was super close. She's like 20-something years old. And it's like...
Is she in her 20s?
She's in her 20s. And
Why
her
is she
husband's
such
like
a
60.
bitch?
Her husband's like 60 and he's very wealthy.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That says all you need to know. She's in that for the money.
I am very curious to watch New York with Mom Donnie and to just see how that goes.
Do they like him there? I don't even know.
I mean, they do. It's early. He's been in for a month.
obviously he got elected to be there, but
Right.
was he like
So
is he popular? He's a Democrat?
No, I mean, yeah, but he's pretty out there for a Democrat.
But I mean, he's not like Republican, but
he's a
that's what I'm saying.
socialist. Like, he is a true socialist, openly socialist. And that's where we don't
So he's like Bernie? Like a Bernie?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Maybe even a little farther than Bernie. And
At this point, I'd rather have that than
I'm just
what is
curious-
Donald Trump a fascist?
I'm just curious.
Right?
Yes. I would say absolutely. Yes.
From what I read, because like I started kind of like seeing political things, and so when I saw some term like the fascist, because I didn't know what some of that shit, I was like,
Adolf Hitler was a
that's pretty
fascist.
fucking
Pretty close, right?
Yeah. Description. if you see the things, you're like,
See, this is the thing that
that's like on the
scared
nose,
me
bro.
before when I would talk about the upcoming election. I didn't love Kamala Harris, but my feeling was, you got to see this guy. Like, what has he ever done? In the end of his last term, when he held the Bible and he went out and he had them like non-lethally shoot all those protesters, and he made them clear that park just so he could walk out and hold a Bible for a photo shoot in front of the church. Do you remember that? So this was like towards the end. I think it was right after January 6th. It felt like the whole world was going to hell.
Was that when he stormed the Capitol? He had them storm the Capitol?
January 6th.
Yeah.
That was the storming of the Capitol. Around that time.
Wait, wasn't that when Biden was in though?
No. So January 6th
when
was
you got-
the day that they were going to confirm the election results.
Yeah, that Biden one.
That Biden won.
Yeah.
And Trump claimed it was a lie. He was
course.
told numerous times that that's not, which, by the way, they just went into to Georgia.
He took all
to like Fulton County or whatever. Yeah. Because he can't handle the fact that he lost. That's my point being, this guy's been like this forever. He can't handle a narrative that's against him. So he's a fascist in the sense that he has to protect his ego. I
don't know what he's going to do now with...
It's going to get bad. I'll tell you that. This guy backed into a corner. He's going to get more and more erratic.
Because, like, he just did that whole racist-looking thing.
Oh, yeah. Race does not bother him. And in the past, he's used race.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, like... so they did the Obama's is monkeys.
Yep.
And, I know they're trying to twist it like it was, he's the king of jungle and this and that. Like, they're trying to twist it in
but
a
you made
sense.
black people monkeys.
Yeah. And come on, you already know the
what
stereotype is on that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
But this is the thing, is he never backs down.
But I don't understand how people... what throws me off is... And obviously, there's still going to be people that are like, well, I love our president,
But they're also
I'm like, well, are you fucking crazy?
Because they're not upset by this kind of stuff.
It's like, how does that not just like infuriate
But
you?
this
That's
is what
crazy,
shows you where our
bro.
country was. That kind of thing at one time kind of worked for him.
Yeah.
People liked that he would throw things out there and be shocking. And it's kind of turning against him because now it's gone so far and people are starting to see it.
I mean, that's
But
pushing it.
Well, it should have pushed it a long time. Back when he had people with tiki, that wasn't him directly, but in Charlottesville at the beginning of his first term, people were walking down the streets with the tiki torches saying, "You will not replace us." A bunch of white guys, and he came out. They were bad people or good people on both sides. He wouldn't come out and just say,
Oh, yeah.
These basically KKK members were not good people.
These fuck.
And a girl ended up getting run over by a car and killed in that whole thing.
That's crazy.
You know, he's been this way for a long time, but people are waking up to it. But that's what's so fascinating.
Do you think he'd win again?
No. Well, he will not legitimately win again. But this is the thing that people need to watch for. He is demanding that elections are rigged, so that he can take over elections to rig elections to make sure he can't lose. And he's not going to, in his mind.
He couldn't run again, right?
Well, he shouldn't be allowed to. But
legally.
Okay, but here's the deal. That law wasn't passed until after FDR. Everybody basically agreed, yeah, we probably need term limits for the presidency because the risk of it getting out of control is too high. Yeah. So they put term limits in. This guy does not care about law, first and foremost. He's already joked about it a number of times, which means, yes, he's going to want to stay in, especially for the fact that if he leaves, he's not protected for everything he's done, right? There's things he's done in states. He could be held to state law.
I don't see them doing anything to him.
I don't think they should at this point, to be honest with you. Well, I take that back. I think after everything's said and done, he should ultimately be prosecuted for January 6th.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things he probably should be prosecuted for, but
I think wait until he's done. He's basically a lame duck at this point. Things are going so poorly in polling, and every special election that's been held for the last several months, they have lost miserably. People, hand over fist, are turning against them because they've cared so much about horrible things and they've done nothing to improve people's lives. Yeah. And his response to it's been, the economy's a joke. Like, people just need to get over it.
The one he just did?
I mean, he's done it several times. He doesn't like being held accountable. He cannot handle feeling like he's inferior, and he's not that smart. Yeah. He got really lucky for a long time with a lot of things. And it's now we see he doesn't fundamentally, he's not playing three-dimensional chess. He's just doing stuff. Yeah. And when it doesn't work, he tries to tell us, fuck you, it's fine. And literally, he's saying it's our fault that we don't get it. We should like him more. Well, it doesn't work that way. Do something for us and we might like you more. But he doesn't see things that way.
Loser.
So he fundamentally believes what he has to believe to protect his ego. So yes, he really does think, against all logic, that liberals are stealing the votes. The reality is he is actively trying to steal the votes.
Yeah.
And Steve Bannon's already calling for a national takeover of elections because he knows. He said it a few months ago that a lot of people in that room were going to go to prison if they lost the midterms. Why? Because you committed crimes. But they're spinning it where the other side is so corrupt and so bad. And I'm not saying that nothing ever happens, but man, this is the thing about January 6th and about the 2020 election. You know how you know it wasn't stolen and it wasn't rigged? Because Republicans across the country, when they were pushed on it, it was their job to be honest. And they said the vote was honest. The vote was real. You had members of both parties in their local elections saying, this was what it was. These are the numbers. And when they investigated, those were the numbers. The amount of fraudulent voting that was found was, I mean, there's always some. Individual people are going to be individual people. But as far as coordinated efforts, they don't exist. We have a good electorate system. And I think one of the big fundamental failures of the Biden administration was they didn't push back on that. They gave it life by being so careful not to just say our elections are good.
Yeah.
And to put effort into making people believe that through action. They just kind of fed the narrative that there's stuff to be afraid of. There was never anything to be afraid of. It was Trump's ego the entire time. And now he wants to nationalize it for certain areas that tend to vote Democratic or are kind of those like swing areas. Yeah. Well, that's so he can make sure he wins. So
that's funny.
I hope that people are really cautious because no, to answer your question, he can't win legally. He can't win correctly.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess if we go on some type of war, I guess there's a loophole where
there's not, but he claimed there was because
I thought I saw that somewhere.
No. What it was, we are still supposed to have elections.
Civil War or something weird.
He claimed, okay, in the Civil War, I do think there was a period of time where that did happen. I don't know how you could argue that today myself, but yeah, I guess you could. the thing much more recent was when what's his name, Zelensky from Ukraine came to the White House and he said, we're at war, we're not able to hold an election right now. And he goes, he smiled at the camera and said, did you hear that? When you're at war, you can't hold an election. So interesting. Watch that video.
Yeah.
You know,
he's going to try to pass a law.
He's trying to get us into a civil war with this ICE stuff, and it's backfiring, and he doesn't quite know what to do now because it's not working the way he wants. But that's his whole plan. He wants chaos because in chaos you can get a lot of stuff to happen.
Well, all I know is his wife came out with a documentary, and it's going to cure the world.
It was an amazing documentary.
I don't think I'd watch it just because it seems like it'd be boring.
I'm sure it is kind of boring.
Like, she's like boring.
Well, the funny thing is the Michelle Obama one.
I would love for that to
shut up.
I would love to see like ICE take her.
I mean, if they're taking everybody else, she should be
too white.
She received an Einstein visa. The Einstein visa was supposed to be for people that did extremely, good things for a certain industry, like, somebody that was going to build the atomic bomb. That's kind of the idea. Somebody that our country really needed.
She built one.
She was such an amazing model that somehow, and she knew Donald Trump, somehow she got an Einstein visa.
I still don't understand.
And Trump claims she did it legally. This is what people are rejecting, is there's us and there's them, and we're all the thems and they're the us. This small echelon of very, very rich people.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, well, whatever. I get to come on and rant for like 2 hours. I feel really good after this.
You're like, I feel good.
Sorry, you got to listen to all my bullshit. I'll stop being so political. We're not a political podcast.
Lately, we have been, but it's okay because there's a lot of shit going on in the world.
I just think, we got to get clear on some things. I'm going to talk about my values and you talk about your values and maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I have mine. I like I said, I'm not like you're more like hardcore politically.
Well, yeah, that's not necessarily a great thing.
Like you're more like, and which, that's what it is. But you're not like, obviously like,
I don't want to hate people for being different.
I mean, I'll see things where it's just like, well, that's kind of fucked up. Like, wow, I don't, like,
politics
and it's
is kind of like my sports, right?
Yeah.
Like, sure. I don't know the
You're
players
very passionate
on a sports team. Like, even my team.
You're like the quarterback, Donald Trump.
But when it comes to politics, I mean, like, really, presidential elections are kind of like
Patriots versus Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean,
Republicans versus Democrats.
It really is. I love the strategy of it. I like to know who the players are, and there are people that are way better than I am. But there's this gal from like Virginia or something, this Amanda something or other. I always watch her videos and she impresses me because she's very involved in her local elections, and she'll do videos where she follows, like, I don't know what she does for a job because she must do this all the time. She'll follow what bills are going to different committees and subcommittees in like the House and the Senate. I'm very impressed. Amanda, whatever your name is, she does this Amanda's Mild Takes, I think, or something like that. Very cool.
Well, there's like I don't even know the chick's name either that I watch. I've been seeing some of her videos. She gets pretty passionate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Political
the blonde gal. Yeah, I can't remember her name either.
She's pretty badass.
She does some pretty good stuff.
She be putting fools in her place. That's what I like.
Those of you guys want to be like Pete Buttigieg. I am all in on Pete. I think Pete Buttigieg would have been a good presidential candidate. I think they should have. The Democrats need to stop acting like an elite group because that's what people are rejecting. They shouldn't have just said, oh, Kamala's going to take it. They should have put it open and let the people decide who was going to run. Pete Buttigieg.
I feel like they don't do that anymore. They just like, okay, we're going to get this guy and this guy.
Look very bad in the idea of it almost feels like a predestined heir apparent kind of system.
Was there ever a point where it wasn't always just this guy versus this guy? Was there ever a point where it was like, we got 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats and we can always do this? But now,
so we always do. It's called the primaries. Right?
I don't feel that way, though.
In the primaries,
I feel like they always focus on just 2 people every time.
So, okay, they do. But you got to understand, like the elections, you got your primary election that you vote on first.
Yeah.
And that happens every time there's a presidential candidate. That often happens for numerous positions, state, legislature, all that. So you'll have 3 Republicans that run, maybe 5 Democrats that run, and they all campaign, right? And then they whittle down that field until one person becomes the clear winner. And then, so the summer before a presidential election, when they do the big political rallies, usually it's like in August, that's when they formally nominate their candidate. So the parties then take that top winner from the primaries, and that person becomes the party winner, and that's where all the resources of the party go behind that one candidate for the presidency.
I think that's
so
why-
the primaries are where you're whittling that field down. I think what you're talking about is, why can't we have more than just the two parties? Why can't we have more viable third party options? And that's a great question. We just don't have. We have a
partisan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. My
Sexual?
mind just. This is my problem.
It's a bisexual.
I can't. My brain does not come up with the right word at the right time most times. We have a bicameral, whatever it is.
The bi-camel toe.
We go with two parties. We have a two-party political
Yeah.
system by our nature. People tend to decide it's one versus the other. And my calculus often, when I feel like our state's getting a little too left-leaning, I will vote for a Republican candidate because
See, I don't think people do
want
that though. A lot of
counterbalance.
times.
But the average person is either more right-leaning or more left. And actually, James Carville and Al Hunt were talking about this a few months ago on their podcast, and they were talking about how if you talk about independent people, most independent people truly already know who they typically vote for.
Yeah.
Most independents typically vote for the Republican candidate or typically vote for the Democratic candidate. There
Yeah.
are very few people who are truly undecided. I like to think of myself as independent. I almost always vote Democrat.
See, I've gone both ways.
Well, and that's great.
I've gone I've gone in with I think I voted for Rand Paul once.
Well, there you
Or not
go.
Rand Paul. What's his dad's name?
Ron Paul.
Yeah, I voted for I think one of those two.
Well, and I will say for Ron and Rand, I'm not.
I think it was his dad.
I
It was
don't-
the old man.
So Ron, and I don't love everything about their politics.
But I think at the
what
time I liked
do
them better
appreciate
than-
Well, I appreciate the fact that they're honest.
Yeah.
They're real.
Yeah.
Compared to everybody else, I mean, if anyone's going to stand up to Donald Trump, they're the most likely people.
Yeah, I think that was
but-
like fuck. That was probably like that was a long time ago.
And they have a consistent message.
That was even before Trump
and my issue's always
was
been,
even thinking of running for the first term.
right. And it's the tax issue. For a long time, the taxes were the big thing, and they're kind of like small government people. I'm not a believer in a small government. I believe in a robust government, but I do believe in a robust government that works.
Yeah.
And there's a big optics problem when too many people feel like we have all this money going in, and
you
what's
know what
it
else?
doing for me?
If you're gonna have if you're running Republican, you need to have a Democrat vice president. I think that needs to be a law.
Well, but this is the thing: is
You need to
because-
have the yin and yang. You can't just have everyone. Okay,
Sure.
we're all yes.
right, but
You know what I mean?
and that it does make it challenging. Well, but then the vice
That's
president is second in line. So if people vote for that
Well,
ideology,
that's what they voted for.
then you have the other side. I don't know.
I think
This is the
that's what you make
crazy
people
thing-
vote for.
Yeah.
Well, no, because like if you see that that's how it is, you're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Like now I got to look at both these parties.
Right.
I got to look at what they, what they might believe in and what.
Right.
Now, so am I going to vote for the president to be Democrat? And because I like both sides of
Sort of
these?
a balancing act.
Yeah, I think you need a balance, but I don't think I don't know.
I
don't
get-
think
I get your
they'll
thought.
balance, but I know that'll never happen.
appreciate-
I just think that should
What
be a
I
thing.
really appreciate is I understand why a president would want to pick a vice president similar to them.
Of course. I
But
mean,
I
it makes sense.
appreciate presidents that choose a cabinet that are a mix of beliefs and
That's what you
ideology.
need. That's what you need.
Obama had a few people that were Republican in his cabinet. There were people that were tried and true, tested, worked for both administrations, and did a hell of a good job. I mean,
Because you need
if
someone
I
to
were
keep you in check
president,
at
I
a
would
time.
want people to give me honest feedback, and I would want to know. I mean,
would want to rule the world.
I would want, on the economy, I would want probably somebody that was middle of the road but thought a little more like I did, and I'd want somebody right under them that could really give me the counter argument and say, this is why I believe what I believe and what I think, to give me all the information and all the ideas out there. I think there's some things that you want to be challenged on, and that's the problem with Donald Trump. He does not want to be challenged.
Well, yeah, it does.
He believes he's better than everybody else at everything, and he's not. No human is. But he really believes he is, and that's why he wants his ass kissed, his ass kissed every time they go around the table. And like literally in his first term, he had people go around the table and tell the president what they loved about him and how great he was. It's sickening. It's not. Crazy. It's not about
you're
you.
A disgusting person. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, right.
That cracks me.
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
I'm like, why do you do that? That's crazy.
You got a mouth on you, you know. And even so, the gal that does the Daily Show sometimes, you see her clip where she's like,
so
"Can
funny.
you just say something nice about women?" He goes, "Caroline Levitt, I love when her lips go bop 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 bop," and she's like, "Actually, just stick with the insults. That might have been worse." He's
no,
cringy,
that chick's
man.
funny. She reminds me of Elizabeth Olsen or whatever. Her name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Wanda.
Yep.
Yeah, that's who she reminds me of.
Yeah,
she's funny. She's funny. I've seen some of her clips. I like Jon Stewart too.
Jon Stewart's great. He's always been great. But this is okay.
He cracks me up.
If I can sum up my issue with conservative politics and the reason that I am right now a Democrat, and I could go to the right, I could, because I live like a very conservative person in my life. But here's my issue with the Republicans. We love the veterans. You hate the veterans if you don't vote for the war. We believe in small government. We don't want taxes. The end of the Bush administration, we need to bail out major rich people because they're too big to fail. Our deregulation made them too big, and now we have to bail them out because they're too big. And what was the first point I made?
Something about conservative, something.
I said something
about Jon Stewart.
Yeah, back to the veterans, right? You're anti-American if you're anti the war, right? We're going into Iraq. You're pussies. You're losers. Jon Stewart, 9/11. All these firefighters, all these people are now sick for being American patriots and heroes. We need to fund health care for them to get the care they need.
I remember that. They voted
failed
no
because of Republicans. You didn't get your college paid for. Look, I don't know if I'm even for that. But the reason that average people's college couldn't get paid for, but rich people can get bailed out is because Republicans refuse to let Biden pass that. If you look at every issue that would impact average people, Republicans killed it every time. They don't believe in paying taxes. Somebody's got to pay for it.
Yeah.
The rich are going to pay for the average people, or the average people are going to keep paying for the rich. We subsidize right now the rich people in this country. We get taxed, so rich people get breaks. That's the way it works. And we have a choice to make. I personally believe the Democrats are the side that is actually ultimately going to hold. They're the one side willing to vote for things. They're not yet going hardcore after the rich people. And that's
I feel like rich people will never do that, though, because they're rich, too. So it's like, they're like, fuck that. I'm going to still keep getting paid. I want my package fat.
That's the thing that Democrats have to understand.
I just got a new car. I need it paid for.
The optics are bad. And they need to get real on that. And they need to change the optics. Because people need to understand when people voted against Obamacare and then right-wingers got pissed because they saw their rates go up when Republicans took over and their mom lost her health care, those are taxpayer systems of health care, even if it came from your state. Taxes pay for that. So if you don't want universal health care of some kind, then you're going to pay the corporate rate for insurance, and it's going to kill you. We can't afford it. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
And believe me, I pay a lot of taxes to these rich people.
You know, and there's people out there that think I'm a total idiot. Maybe I am. But all I'm saying is I've seen a lot of things lately. A lot of people did not know what they were voting against. And yeah.
I just need my insurance to go down. I need
Well, we're getting crushed by all these other people making money off of us. Everything we buy into.
I just need to be a billionaire so I can say, fuck yeah.
Right.
Yeah, fuck all you little poor folk.
No, I will thank Trump for my retirement plan because, investments are going up.
I don't even know.
But whatever. Anyway,
Anyway,
I wasn't even going to go political today, so I'm sorry.
it's all good. I gotta pee.
All right.
So I'm trying to
Enjoy
hold
the
it. I'm
Super
trying to hold
Bowl.
it in.
This guy's been like, can you shut up? I don't care.
You lost.
right.
You lost me at Obamacare. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like you had me at hello or whatever. You lost me at Obamacare. All right. I love everybody. Everybody love each other. Have a good
That's
week.
it.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Go Niners. Oh wait, they're not in it. God damn.
Next year. All right.
All right.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
That sucks.